All right, we're ready to rock and roll.
Excellent, excellent. So hold on.
Okay.
All right, so this is how I want to start this.
Okay.
A fat boy and a vegan walk into a Mexican food restaurant. How about that? Hold on. Oh, wait. A fat boy, a vegan, and an Arabic guy walk into the Arabic guy's Mexican food restaurant, but he's not here. But no, wait.
Wait, is this getting offensive?
Hold on. Just work with me.
Okay.
A black guy.
Okay.
A black fat guy.
Okay.
A black fat meat eating guy.
All right, carnivore, yeah.
Carnivore,
Yeah.
right? And an Asian.
Half Asian.
Half Asian, half Scottish.
Scots-Irish, yeah. We're close
Scotch-Irish,
enough.
right? So a half Asian, half alcoholic.
Straight, by the way.
Half Asian, half alcoholic. Vegan.
Yeah. Well, mainly vegetarian, but
Mainly
I'm transitioning.
Transitioning
towards, yeah.
He's transitioning. Caitlin vegan here. But walk into a Mexican food restaurant.
Correct.
While a Latino and an East Asian are looking at us over our shoulder, making us hella uncomfortable. Welcome to the Happiness Podcast. I'm Grover Reese.
And I'm Scotty of Org Unity.
Unity.
Hey, it's a united feel of different races,
Tell me about
right?
Org. All right, so I've never asked you about Org Unity.
Okay.
So I want to write, what the fuck is Org Unity?
All right, so Org Unity is technically called Org Unity Media, which is the acronym of AUM, which is also known in the Indian Sanskrit as the Universal Sound of Creation. So basically anything that we're doing that pertains to media, audio, entertainment, what have you, is part of the Universal Sound of Creation. So
That is deep as fuck.
I know I get a little too deep.
That's
I think I
deep.
lose people a little bit too
Okay,
easy on
that. Wow. So I want to get some updates.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with my update because my update's hella boring. I do what I always do. Last weekend I hosted Guru Roger Acuelos at NorCal JKD in Cali / Peninsula Self-Defense. It's only really Peninsula Self-Defense, but two schools came together as one, and I'm still a little sentimental for NorCal JKD. That was hosted by Guerrilla Combatives, that's me. And I just have a couple of takeaways from just seeing martial artists. I'm in a martial arts community. I'm not a superstar in it, I'm not comparing myself to anybody, but I find that the better the martial artist is, and I don't know why, the harder it is for them to perpetuate their art. So it's almost like every great martial artist I know who's successful, like they literally have a great business person working with them. And I just don't understand how that's possible, but I guess when I look at other artists, I say, okay, well look, artists, people who do paintings or stuff like that, they don't really care if they sell their paintings. They just think the world should flock to them.
Well, most
and buy them.
painters are like, they die broke. I mean, Van Gogh and all these other ones,
Yes,
right?
which makes my prospects of a martial artist shitty. Okay, so go. But I just try to, I see so many top guys who would be bigger, and I mean, I'm gonna drop some names of just people I know in the Bay Area who I think should be superstars. Like in a colleague world, I think Brenda King should be a superstar. She's a top lady, but whatever. And when I say superstar, I mean like they should have like a following, like 70 people after school in a waiting line. Jason Anai, who's a 9 Eskrima, I think he's a superstar. Roderick Bulos, he's from Southern California. I think he's a superstar, but it just kills me that like people will open up a cardio kickboxing place, which is total and complete 100% BS, no technique. You just go, you're getting a sweat, and that's what you're getting. And hey, it's great exercise, and they're actually better and doing way better and far successful selling bubble gum than someone who's selling the real thing, where you get a skill and you get a workout too. It just amazes me, and I mean, that's just my update. Like, I had this revelation that in order to be successful and to do what makes you happy, you have to work hard both ways. You can't just do the art, put the art out there, but you have to hustle, you have to be on time, you have to have a plan, and you have to push yourself to push your art, or it's gonna die. Any art you do, it's gonna die, because you know what, martial arts isn't like YouTube where it's gonna be there forever, and you say, oh, well, this is him doing that. Martial arts is like a lot of people doing kind of like the same movements over and over with their own flavor on it, and a lot of infighting. So it always just blows my mind when I see that.
So what do you think about like actually these martial artists goes to like people like us? I mean, we're doing this on a podcast, we're doing this on YouTube, we're putting this on every distribution platform we can possibly be. How about in a way have these martial artists work on their art, and people that are in this kind of field are ready to advertise their skills and market their skills?
I think it's awesome, right?
Yeah.
I think that I would love to have a platform that I can connect martial artists, and because I'm a martial artist myself and I've done it for so many years, I can connect martial artists and worthy martial artists with people who can help them, and they can have a give and take and a trade. Of course, there should be a financial come up for the person who's putting all in that work, but everybody has to realize that you're going to have to put in some work and some pro bono work to get somebody up to that level. Then there should be a partnership. The biggest thing and the funniest thing to me about martial artists is that some of them have totally shitty personalities, even though they're great. But those aren't the folks who are ever going to be successful anyway. The person who's successful is someone who's giving of the art, who's humble, and who people like to be around.
So you basically, what I'm getting at is almost you need a new spokesperson for the martial arts world, kind of like how Bruce Lee did it. I mean, granted, he was a superstar on his own level, with his own flair and his own style, but
the way that you said how Bruce Lee did it exactly is my point. Bruce Lee died in 1973, right? I was born in 1973, old as hell, 44, about to be 45. If the person that pops in our mind as the pinnacle of martial arts died 45 years ago, we have an issue, because no one else has transcended that. And yes, Segung Bruce was super, super special. Sijo Bruce was super special. However, he can't be the only special human being born to perpetuate the arts. I mean, of course, Guru Dananasana, which is his birthday today, I believe he's 83. Happy birthday, Guru Dan. One of the greatest people I've ever met, one of the greatest seminars I've ever been to, one of the nicest people I ever met. However, there has to be someone in our generation who's pushing it forward, who's becoming that person. And the thing is that there's so much competition now. So much competition now.
well, sorry to interject,
Go. But you're going to interject anyway, so interject.
So we have MMA, right? We have all these superstars, Conor McGregor and all these other stars that we know. Joe Rogan has them on his podcast and everything.
Well, he has some of them.
Some of them. Okay. So where can we put in? I don't even know what using the right vocabulary word. Not authentic, but more of a traditionalist wouldn't even be the right word for it.
Well, I would say this though: the people that he have on don't have their own system. They have a system created, or a bunch of systems built together, but they haven't yet built that to their own system. Some of the people that he has have on, maybe they have their own system, like Farhan Sahabi, who was on there. I think you were telling me you watched him.
He's a good. Yeah,
it was a great interview, right? And by the way, Joe Rogan is a master at just having people open up and talk. But maybe he understands movement, he understands this to a high level, and he's like putting his art out there with George St. Pierre and things like that, and his other fighters. However, there has to be a blueprint. There has to be written down, because everybody can't be the top. Like, one of the things that we always look at is we always look at the Google and the Facebook, and we say, okay, we want to be that. But you know what? You still have to go. Someone still has to run the garbage company. Someone still has to have a restaurant. Someone still has to have this and that.
Which we happen to be in Nueve.
Yeah.
Oh
shit! We're supposed to introduce our venue. This is how much we suck. All right, we are in Nueve.
This is like, wait, what is it?
Mexican food bar and grill in San Bruno. We're having drinks. The owner, Jimmy,
on the house,
personal good friend of ours. You will not get drinks on the house, by the way. So, you're not special like we are. But it's one of the most beautiful restaurants I've been in to be such a casual dining experience. Great, friendly staff, great food. If you come here, get the Frankie special, it'll blow your mind. Or the Mexican jambalaya, which I named. And it's just an awesome place. It's in a Bay Hill Shopping Center in San Bruno, California. With that being said, back to the topic. Okay. Somebody has to have a system to put out, and you don't have to be this huge person. For every wild card gym with Freddie Roach, there's a West Side Boxing Club with great instruction that's helping a lot of people with Coach Patrick, that's a great place to go, and that has to perpetuate also because everybody can't go to Wild Card. You know, you have to find that little system. I mean, you did martial arts for an amount of years, right?
Oh yeah, I did. And I wish I could get right back into it right now.
So why did you do martial arts? What made you go to the place you were going to?
What made? Well, there's a myriad of reasons, but the main reason was I wanted to do something that was close quarter, as well as added some striking arts into it as well. So I did Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, a Danzan Ryu style system based out of Hawaii by, oh my God, this is so bad. But anyway.
Hold on, did you just forget?
I just forgot. Okazaki, Seishiro Okazaki.
Okay.
It was bad.
Dude,
that's how long I've been out of it.
But here's the thing though. But all of that meant nothing. You went to someone because you got along with him, and he was a great teacher, and he was passing down art to you, and you liked the person.
I liked the person, and my sensei was Richard Bunch, who happened to be the president of the Jiu-Jitsu America. I'm not sure now, because it's been like 3 or 4 years I've been out of it, but definitely the reason why I took Danzan Ryu, because it incorporated karate, elements of boxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, and all that good stuff. So I went for it specifically for those reasons.
That's awesome. Okay, so my Saturday was hosting a seminar with a great martial artist. My Sunday was teaching martial arts all day and having a great 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. MMA class up in Peninsula Self-Defense. Just one funny story about this, and then we're going to get to Scotty's updates. So I put together drills that we call puke drills that are designed to like push you to your limits. And all of the adults are struggling. One of my students, he said, hey, I got to bring both of my little girls. They both do jiu-jitsu. They're both perpetual champions, by the way. Like they armbar everybody. We call them armbar in Choke City. And, you know, two little girls, like one's 9, one's 7. It's hilarious, right? So we're doing the puke drills, and we see everybody struggling. And I look at the two little girls, and they're just blowing through it like it's nothing, dude. So at the end of the class, everybody's all beat up. It's 2 hours of pure work. Everyone's sweating through T-shirts. I sweat through 2 T-shirts, and I'm just teaching. It's crazy, right? And I go up to the oldest, her name is Ileana. I'm like, are you tired? She's like, no, I'm going to go play after this. I'm like, I don't know where the hell that went to, but I think that you should start working out hard when you're a little kid, not lifting a lot of weights, but just keep working out. So by the time you get older, it doesn't suck anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean you get conditioned. I mean,
because these girls kick their butts. Okay, so my weekend was totally normal. A little drinking, a little weed, very little stuff. You know, just typical Grover experience. A little bit of an edible, a little microdose, just to keep me going through the day. However, Scotty had a Molly weekend, so tell me about it.
So, I mean, get a little nervous talking about this. Well, what ended up happening?
Hold on, wait. Hold on a second. Scott's about to talk about Molly. Are any of you guys police? Ain't no police here, Scott. Go.
So anyway, over the past week, I did my vlog series, Energy and Motion, and my goal and my objective was to do 10 blocks of Amazon Flex so I can afford all the audio equipment, camera equipment, all this good stuff, right? So my friend invited me out to our other friend's, okay, this sounds kind of wrong, it's almost like, well, she invited me to her birthday party, and it was a birthday party out at the club with featured with this EDM guy called 3Lau, 3LAU, but it's pronounced as Blau. So if you see it as 3LAU, it looks like Blau, right? Yeah. So I'm out there, I'm just totally debating whether I should even go to this club. And this club's down in Sunnyvale called Pier Club, right?
Pier.
It's an upscale club that plays EDM music, so you know a bunch of Asian girls and
So basically, that's one of them no Negro allowed clubs where you go there and it's like 9 black people in the club. Get out of here, dude. Because first of all, black people don't like EDM.
That's a lie. But there's a few.
There's like 5.
That's why they got trap EDM.
Trap EDM. Oh Lord, help me! A bunch of emo dudes with skinny jeans on. All right. Anyway.
Okay. So back to the story.
Asian girls everywhere.
They're just people everywhere. It's good music, right? And so I was wearing these glasses, right? And these glasses belong to my brother who just passed away like a few months ago. So I have great sentimental value to these glasses I was wearing. So anyone that knows anything about EDM is that when you wear glasses at a club or an event, most likely you're kind of on one. So no one ever touches you or does anything because everyone's wearing glasses. Everyone knows what's up, right? And so I'm on one a little bit, just a little bit. And I was having great debate even taking any substance to begin with or even going out. And this one girl just kept running up to me, just trying to grab my glasses the whole time. She wanted that
dude. No, I'm playing.
She was like,
go on, man.
Well, anyway, she kept trying to grab at it and grabbing at it and grabbing at it. I'm like, oh my God, stop trying to grab my face. You're going to try and grab something. I mean, move down, not up. So anyway, long story short, my glasses got knocked off. I lost those sentimental glasses, and those glasses were supposed to be featured on my Orc Unity Messages video. So kind of lost it, but it was like, all right, whatever. And
so she didn't get no deed.
No, she didn't, but her friend, because I was really pissed off. I was irritated as fuck. So her friend came up to me, and she was fine. She was definitely fine. She got me in a better mood, gave me a kiss, and I was like, all right. The night goes on.
She gave me a kiss. Hey, no. Remember, what's that cat, Chris Taylor, when somebody would irritate him, he'd be like, "Era!" hella loud. Dude, sometimes, like, when someone's irritating me, I look at them and be like, "Era," and they'd be like, "What?" I just tell it's an inside joke. It's an inside joke on a podcast, which is stupid.
Well, you called them midnight too, right? Yeah, Why do you call them midnight?
No. So, all right. So my boy Chris Taylor was like a 6'4" dude was super dark, and I used to call him Evening. I used to call his ass Evening because like I fool would walk in and he was a pretty big dude. He was probably about 6'4", about 270 pounds, 260 pounds.
Kaji Kembo guy too, yeah.
Yeah, Kaji Kembo, 3rd-degree black belt with an attitude, and he'd walk by and I'd be like, damn, it's hella dark. But man, that's my boy. God bless him. One of the best people I know. You can take a joke, could give it out. That fool used to call me a Kung Fu Panda with a tan. So we used to go back and forth, so that's great. But back to your weekend. So what else happened? Did you get a number or something?
Oh, no. Honestly, at this point in time, what makes me happy is doing things like this right now, what we're doing. Yeah. And so the whole time I was irritated at the club, besides losing my brother's glasses, which meant a lot to me. So, it's just the only voice I would kept replaying in my head the whole time I was irritated is, why are you here? Why are you not doing the work?
Because and this is something that I think that's very important. And even though I make a lot of jokes and I obviously can't take anything seriously, one thing I do take seriously is understanding that no matter what you do in life, and I tell people this all the time, young people, old people, no matter what you do in life, if it's making you happy or if it's not making you happy, the bottom line is that you absolutely 100% need to work your ass off. If you're not working your ass off, you're not going to be happy. So happiness isn't going to just fall into it. Happiness isn't a walk in a park. Happiness isn't playing all day. Happiness is hard motherfucking work. And if you're not getting down to the grind, don't think that you're going to just fall into roses and not grind for it. Nothing comes for free. So 100%. Okay, anything else happen?
Oh, no.
You should have invited these fine-ass Asian girls on the podcast.
I know. Well, if you're seeing this video, please DM me. I will answer you right away. Oh. I didn't even get your name.
Oh, you didn't get a name?
I didn't. It was so loud. I was so I know. There's no excuses. No excuses.
You didn't get a name.
I didn't get a name.
Failure. Okay. You'll never see this shit because 5 people will see it. You're gonna see. By the time you see it, we're gonna be 97 years old. I'll be dead and gone, and it's gotta be my age. Okay. So, anything else happened on your Molly weekend, dude?
No, I mean, I just went back to work. I got a lot of footage, a lot of video editing that I need to do. I'm behind, and I'll probably be behind on this one too. So
great. So this should have come out Christmas.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me get an official date so I can tell you when this shit is not coming out.
July 24th.
So it's July 24th, and this shit will come out Christmas. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I'm sure we'll get it out in a week.
No, we'll get it out.
But it's our first official podcast entitled "A Fat Boy and a Vegan Walk into a Mexican Restaurant."
Working title.
Because I just think it's funny. So, anything else happened in the weekend? Anything else we'll talk about?
Well, the other thing that happened was I didn't get all my audio equipment. So we're running off of a Zoom H6 without any mics. We're using some lab mics. We have redundant audio systems here. So we got the Takstar going, 3 times audio. So I'm hoping the audio will turn out crisp and clear, but we're working.
Or
what we
the
got.
audio may be shitty.
Or that.
Yeah. But like I said, you got to keep pushing one way or the other. You got to keep moving. Nothing absolutely stops.
Oh no, like I mean, any kind of setback, you gotta keep on going. I mean, I went through a lot of setbacks. I'm sure you can.
Setbacks are normal. Setbacks are normal. I mean, for instance, I could say something that a good friend of ours at Nueve, friend of the bar, friend of mine. This gentleman's name was Alex. He was a community servant. He was a Daly City police officer. Grew up in San Bruno. Had a operation on his shoulder. A couple of days later, he died. A blood clot got loose, and I believe it was a massive heart attack. One of the best people I ever met in my life. Probably the reason why Jimmy's not here tonight. Jimmy was gonna be a guest on our podcast, the person who owns this place, but you know, he's emotionally drained. It was a tough time for him. He did a lot of work for him. And just to tell you the kind of person who owns this place is, he probably donated about $5,000 or $6,000 of food to the funeral to make sure that everybody had food, had to eat. He paid his staff out there to cater it, and that was just because this guy was a friend of the bar, a friend of the business. And you know, for 3.5 years, Jimmy's seen him once a week, have a drink with him, and just be a great guy. Jimmy's letting us use this place tonight. As you see, people are walking back and forth, they're closing up. We keep pushing anyway. It's not a problem at all. Some of the best people we have here.
Yeah, helping us out, setting it up.
And so, you know, this isn't possible without this place. So I want to give a rest in power to Alex. A lot of people know him. There's over 1,000 people at his funeral. And you don't have 1,000 people at your funeral if you're an asshole. You have 1,000 people at your funeral because he touched lives. So God bless him and God bless his family. That's all I want to talk about that. I want to move on to maybe some current events.
Okay.
So there's a bunch of things on my mind. First of all, I don't want to be too political. I don't want to talk about the partisan bullshit with Trump or you know, Democrats or Republicans, because quite honest, if you talk to me being at least a moderate conservative, I will say that everybody's lost their fucking mind right now, and I don't even want to talk about them.
Well, I think it's most people are too focused on the drama, the BS. I mean, instead of working our way towards doing something and finding solutions, we're just stuck in the quagmire of nothing. I mean,
absolutely. Working on it. There's nobody talking solutions. Everybody's talking, fighting each other. I don't even want to talk about it. But there are some things going on in the San Francisco Bay Area and California itself that I think is absolutely ridiculous, kind of funny. And so one of the things, I was doing some research for this, and something that's near and dear to my heart is cannabis. Cannabis, CBD oil, natural remedies to problems. I've had a lot of physical problems in my life, and I can say that cannabis has been a godsend. And one of the things that is absolutely crazy is that it appears that the allure of legal cannabis is not greater than a 45% tax or up to 45% tax that's coming with it. And what I mean is that California revenue from tax is down than what they estimated in the first year of legalized cannabis for not only medicinal use but just casual use. Because
is that with CBD too? Do they tax?
Yeah. So anything that comes from cannabis is taxed. So CBD is still that. And so, funny thing is that there's still people selling weed. There's still a dope man selling weed. And even though the prices of weed crashed on the street as soon as legal cannabis became a thing, because the average law-abiding citizen is just going to go there. Taxes are, once again, driving, in my opinion, high taxes and inconvenience.
And they've had established relationships with their...
Well, that's one of the things. So if you tax something highly, and I want to be good, I'm probably going to still buy it, because, you know what, there's a tax on alcohol, and I'm not buying grain liquor from some asshole in the back lobby. But I will say this. If it's totally inconvenience, and every county has their different zoning laws, and, you can't come into this county yet, or you can't come here, or it's only going to be here, or, ease.com, which is the delivery service that works in the Bay Area, can't deliver to every place in the Bay Area, which is absolutely ridiculous. At one point, people are just going to go to someone else. And the biggest joke, and the only thing I gotta say, and it's hella funny, is leave it to California to fuck up weed. I mean, look, California, we fuck up a lot of things here. We're very good at it. Our roads suck here.
Well, isn't it kind of scary? I mean, are we still the 6th biggest economy in the world, technically? Or
yes, we're still the 6th biggest economy in the world.
That's a little scary.
But we used to be the 3rd largest economy in the world.
Wow.
And we've dropped to 6th. And one of the reasons why we're the 3rd largest economy in the world. And look, I'm not a person who says that regulation ruins everything, but I'm a person that says that stupid regulation ruins a lot of shit. Having a general fund and not having your taxes go to a specific thing ruins a lot of stuff. And maybe someone's going to call me and say, I don't know what I'm talking about, or I'm getting too political, but I'm going to tell you this. I lived in California a long time. And there's no reason why the roads in California, when you have state taxes, are shittier than the roads in Texas. And you can say, well, Texas has toll roads, you got to pay a toll on it. But I've been on non-toll roads in Texas, and they're popping. I got plenty of family in Texas, so I think.
Well, I mean, over here we got so many toll roads, and the tolls keep on going up.
Yeah, but we don't. We have bridges, but we don't have like in Texas. Like if you wanted to go to San Jose from San Mateo,
okay, San Diego has something.
There could
like
be a
that,
separate toll road altogether. That would be like that. It's gonna get hella traffic during traffic time, but idealistically it'd be less traffic because you have to pay to get on it. But that's one of those things. I just think that talking about going back to cannabis, that if it's not convenient and a dope man will come to your house and sell you an eighth of weed at 8 in the morning, or an eighth of weed at 5 in the morning or 4 in the morning, then people are going to go that route because, it's not like new people started smoking weed or started taking edibles or started doing anything because this is legal. They didn't grow the industry magically. What they did was they brought an industry from a black market onto the free market. Well, a black market, which is a pure free market, which is unregulated, onto a regulated market. And so when you're looking at that, once you're in that regulated market, people start looking around and saying, well, look, if I don't have choice, and my choice is the guy next door who still got a bunch of weed, there's still growers who are going to sell to anybody because they got to sell their crops, then, it's going to lose. So California, you got to get out of each other's way and let these people sell their weed. If you're going to go for it and say it's okay, don't shit on it to the point where nobody can do it. It's almost like having a poll tax or something where like, okay, hey, tax the shit out of it. But if you're going to tax it, open the doors for everybody. And one of the things I could say without being too political is that the U.S. government can unschedule one marijuana, unschedule one CBD, marijuana, and everything along with it, and then that way all of these counties will have they'll have to regulate it like you regulate alcohol. You can go buy beer or liquor in every county in California.
And that's actually the biggest hurdle and obstacle for a lot of these people that are entering into the legal market is because of the county ordinances, local ordinances. You're jumping maybe over a 30-foot hurdle, and all of a sudden now you got yourself a 10-foot wall that you got to jump over.
Yeah. So you're doing so much. And why are these so hard? Because alcohol, which I love to death, everybody who knows me, alcohol companies, they are standing behind and standing in front and putting up hurdles, so marijuana companies can't take their market. But what people don't understand is that, and what these companies don't understand, because the world is always, the corporate world is always far behind the streets, is that a motherfucker just don't smoke weed. He grab a beer and smoke his joint. And so I think once we figure that out, we'll be okay.
It's almost like the fear of scarcity. The pie is shrinking. I mean, I think I heard you talking about this a little earlier, where you think the pie is, not you, but people think the pie is, no, I was listening to a podcast. Okay, the pie is shrinking, but it's really not. There's more enough pie for everyone to go around. Well, it's just mine, depending if someone wants boysenberry or pumpkin or apple And we're back.
Okay, we had technical difficulties.
Experienced technical difficulty. One more last time. We're at Nueve, sponsored.
That motherfucker said Nueve. It's Nueve.
Nueve.
Well, it's just...
I take Spanish on Duolingo too.
Yeah, Nueve.
There we go. I'll make sure I get that.
Now you're making everybody seasick with that close-up shit. At Nueve. So Two things we just discovered. Number one, our memory card is trash.
I only got 32 gigs on this one.
So we need to like get a huge ass memory card. We'll be working on that. And number two, there is no way that I can remember where we picked up. So I'm gonna start a little.
The Pi.
So I'm gonna try to rehash it a little, and if I don't make sense with the edit, God help us. So basically, what I was saying is that the Pi is the same size. To grow the Pi costs a lot of money, but there's a lot of competition for the same Pi now, and so that's what's going on. But here's something else too. That the problems with medical marijuana, in my opinion, is the lack of access. And so this is what's happening in California: lack of access. If I can't get it next door, if I can't get it in my town, if I gotta drive 4 towns away to get something, or gotta pay an exorbitant price to have it delivered to me, then there's no way that it's not legal. It's not legal if you can't access it. It's funny, like when people say, well, abortion in the United States, Roe v. Wade is still a law of the land, but there's places in states where there's 2 clinics in the entire state you can have an abortion at. Now, I'm not pro-abortion, by the way. I'm pro-law, and if something is law, it should be available. If there's a demand there, which there's going to be a demand for it, it should be available. So that's the same thing that we're going through with marijuana. I know it's a weird comparison, but it's the truth. And the last thing I got to say about this is that your cousin Pookie will deliver any drug to you at 3 in the morning. If you want to compete in the marketplace with the black market people, you have at least got to be available, or it's pretty much dishonesty. And the last thing I want to talk about is, it's just the opioid crisis and drug abuse in general. And so I think we all go on.
As you're saying that, I'm just like, I just had a weekend popping a little bit of something.
Just had a weekend of opioid abuse. No. So here's the thing. It's just going to sound weird. I am pro responsible drug use, meaning that if you got joint problems and you're tired and you can't sleep with insomnia, you should smoke some indica and go to sleep.
Which I've done actually. When I had a surgery on repairing my patellar tendon, which was ripped. Basically, that's a tendon that holds a kneecap to your lower shin.
That's a hard tendon to rip.
Yes, it's a very hard tendon. So I had a jumper's knee. Well, anyway, fast forward. They prescribed me hydrocodone and some other stuff, Vicodin, Percocets, all that good stuff. Well, you know what? None of that worked. My leg was hurting really bad. I don't like painkillers. I don't feel like I'm daydreaming the whole time. And I smoked weed. And honestly, the transition of how my reality altered because of the marijuana psychoactive effects made me not think about the pain. Made me think of what the hell is happening right now.
Right.
And the very next day, guess what? I had an edible. And after that, didn't touch a painkiller. After that, I didn't need it. It was all I needed.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of times, like, natural remedies are going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm pro exploratory drug use, right? This is why I'm pro shrooms. I'm pro anything that grows out of the earth. Look, I don't like cocaine because you have to put cocaine through a process. There's not a bunch of people in Bolivia chewing cocoa leaves for energy who are really strung out and robbing each other for that. Because it's abundance, it's everywhere. And there's not a black market for it here. But after you go through that process, you dry it, you make cocaine, there's a black market here in the United States. I'm not for opium because you have to put it through a process to get opium and opioids, and especially synthetic opioids, things of that nature. But marijuana, shrooms, just some things that are natural. Some things that are not natural, a little LSD could be very good for people to be introspective. But I think shrooms is probably the best thing, so you can look at yourself and realize what a fucking dick you are, and kind of back down from yourself and really get some humility. I think that a lot of people in this world would do well taking a small dose of shrooms and sitting down and thinking about themselves, because the trip is unbelievable. And I know I don't talk like this a lot, and a lot of people be surprised, but taking shrooms was one of the best things that happened to me in my life. It made me realize a lot of things. And one of the things that made me realize is that how I was behaving was inappropriate, and my life, how I was living, was wrong, and that led to me making a change in my life. So I'm not saying that shrooms is end all be all. There's a lot of hard work behind it. But I'm saying that sometimes you need something to open your eyes. That was just a thing. And, you know, the government worried about drug use. It's the dishonesty that fuels drug use. When I was a kid, they told me that marijuana and cocaine were the same thing. Mm-hmm. Now, I never tried cocaine until I was far as an adult. Mm-hmm. But when I was a kid, I smoked weed. And I was like, this is fucking great. And my grades didn't fall off. And I didn't stop being an athlete or doing martial arts or anything. I just had a great fucking time. Which means that now I can't trust to just say no to drugs and all this shit, because they're telling me that this drug is the same as cocaine. So I do think that the war on drugs and these marketing campaigns had a lot to do with people having those issues.
I mean, there's also some back history that was covered up. I mean, it's not really covered up. It's been shown in movies and books and all that stuff. But I mean, just case in point, right here, we're drinking beer. This is technically a drug.
It's
a barbiturate. So
it's a drug like fuck.
It's just very subjective in how people interpret drugs, especially a social institution like the government. Are they ready to? Our guys might be ready to clean. So
yeah. So we're gonna wrap it up. I just want to say one thing, and this is funny. This is the last of my current events, and then I just talk about why what the fuck is going on in San Francisco. But I just think this is funny. Outside Lands is adding a cannabis experience to the to the concert. Mm-hmm. Like they're gonna have a cannabis experience room or a promotion or something like that. And I'm like, I've been to Outside Lands before. Going to Outside Lands is a fucking cannabis experience, and you don't need anybody to have an experience for you there when everyone's stoned anyway. I just think it's absolutely hilarious how promoters and like rich white people or rich promoters actually haven't been hip since fucking Woodstock. I swear to God, I think it's hilarious. It's like it's like, hold on a second, at EDM concerts, Molly experience. This is new. The kids are gonna love it. Yeah, like, hey, you know what? They smoke weed at fucking Bob Marley festival too. Get the fuck out of here with that stupid shit. I just think that at one point, when people chase their tails like that, it just kills me. So I want to get a little serious. What do you think about the weed at? Isn't that funny though? The weed at Outside Lands like that.
I think it's just whatever can make money now. People are just insinuating that
this motherfucker's so serious. This motherfucker's so serious. It's stupid. Yeah. But you know what? I know they're trying to make money, but it's stupid. Mm-hmm. Here's the last thing I want to talk about, and then whatever you want to talk about. Of course, I think there's a lack of humanity in the Bay Area in San Francisco. And I don't know what's fueling this. I know that a lot of times people say the tech bros, or like you want to blame the tech people, but I've known some people who work at Starbucks who are the most humane people ever. I can honestly say that. So I don't know if that's the case. I also know some people who work at Starbucks who are some passive aggressive dickheads. So that's just life, right? So they're kind of.
So basically, what he's saying is everyone is passive aggressive dickheads, and everyone else is cool. So 50-50.
Yeah.
So this is a 50-50.
That's how I am. But I see like in San Francisco, especially, we had, the San Francisco Bay Area, we had this, what they call her barbecue Betty or whatever, who called the police on somebody barbecuing in the wrong area, and then you had the permit Patty about a month ago calling the police on these kids who were selling water. And by the way, she ran a marijuana business. I think that's hilarious, because when you smoke weed, you need water, cottonmouth. And then just recently, I was watching in the news, and I don't know what state it is, that this lady called the police on somebody who was in the wrong pool, even though they lived there. The people who called the police on the guys at Starbucks. And
I'm sure some of these stories are valid. There's a raccoon that's just walking right by here right now.
The raccoon?
Funny. Yeah.
Well, shit, it's the food. Food is over here.
So anyway, what I was saying is that, or maybe sometimes these people that got the cops called on them, were they just being dicks?
Well, no.
Because in the marijuana industry, I'll tell you guys a little bit more of my backstory later on. When you're a dick, people call on you.
But here's one thing that I'm saying. That little girl who they called the police on, not having a permit, is not being a dick. the person who was barbecuing in Oakland. Stop calling the police on people when you could just resolve that shit. It's a civil matter. It's not something the police should take care of. If someone is barbecuing in the wrong place, he was using a charcoal grill where he should have been using the grills that exist there.
Well, you know what? Then they should have like code enforcement officers or community
Exactly,
service officers.
but don't call the police. The police aren't. First of all, the police got a shitty job. Second of all, I mean,
My father was a cop.
second of all, I believe that police should not be there to. That's a monitorized situation, meaning that they're going to come, they're going to write a ticket. If a police always shows up and writes a ticket for you, you're going to always treat them like shit. And I'm talking about the good police. If the police, every time I see a good cop who's just trying to do his job and he charges me money, I'm going to hate that person. Now, let's talk about the bad cop who's going to show up and beat my ass. Now I hate all cops where I should. Now I think all cops either cost me money, harass me, or kick my ass. When the cops who are just costing me money, which is probably 65% of the cops, shouldn't be doing that anyway. They shouldn't be going around writing tickets for jaywalking. They shouldn't be going around writing. I even think they should give out parking
Wouldn't
tickets.
that be more
Parking
of
enforcement should do that.
Wouldn't that be more of like a government issue where they're
It's 100%.
placing the demands on these officers to
It's
do these?
100% revenue creating issue. And now you have people calling the police on things of this nature, and the cops are coming out. They should be doing something else. They should be maybe investigating crimes, doing
Community building or something like that?
just talking to people.
Yeah.
And now the lady comes out with the police there, and it's like, hey, you know, you don't know, you know, now the police when they come out, somebody could have, maybe he has a warrant for something that he didn't know about. Now this guy's going to jail. He was just trying to eat with his family. Yes, it's his fault he has a warrant, but don't have some humanity. Don't call the police on somebody unless there's an actual crime going on. It's not a crime to fucking sell water without a permit on a hot day.
So you're basically saying violent crimes or something
No,
that's...
look. If your city ordinance says that you have to have a permit to sell water on a hot day, you need to go to your mayor and you need to tell him to jump off a fucking bridge. This little girl was being an entrepreneur. She was trying to save up money so she can go to Disneyland or something. And I guess they were being loud and, hey, get your water, or laughing or doing what kids do. The lady was upstairs with her window open. They were noisy. She didn't like it. And so she called the police on them. Cut that shit out. There's noisy kids up and down my hallway every day. I've gone out there and I said, hey, can you guys please be quiet? But I ain't never called the police
You know
on
what?
somebody.
She should be happy the kids are out there selling her water instead of being on the phone and just having her face glued on that screen. She's actually doing something, putting something in action to build a little business.
And what happens is that, like, look, without dealing with the whole race thing, which I want to do a whole episode on just why race is such an important issue in the United States, but I don't want to do it yet. Without that, man, you know that little girl, her first experience maybe with a white lady who's outside of her family, who's not a family friend, called the fucking police on her.
Wait. You're saying a white lady?
It was a little black lady selling water. A white lady came and called the police on the little
They
black
have the
lady.
races in the article?
Yes.
No shit.
Yes,
Really?
Yes. And so you know it was a white lady who called the police on the black lady. It was all in the news. It's been about a couple of weeks ago, and obviously Scott doesn't watch news at all. This motherfucker just lives in a cave.
It's metaphysics, man. I don't want that negative energy in my brain.
But here's the deal. If 100% you are sitting here and someone's trying to do something positive, just fucking leave them alone. If someone's barbecuing with his family and it's in the wrong area, don't pick a fight with them and think you need to call the police. What do you want the police to do? Come shoot the guy? You want the guy arrested? You want the guy given a ticket? You want the police to make him stop? How dare he talk to me? Cut that shit out. Get along with people. I think that this is a part of people not being happy. Look, I know I'm not the easiest person to get along with, and I'm self-reflective enough to know that when I talk to people and I deal with them, hey, okay, what's going on? I don't need to get anybody else involved. People downstairs were having a huge party in my apartment complex. I went, it was like 5 in the morning, I knocked on the door, I said, guys, can you just let me sleep soon? They laughed at me. Dude, they were quiet. I went to sleep. I mean, at one point, I don't have to call the police because I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know their life. And the police have more important shit to do to check on noise complaints in the middle of the night.
Well, it was a cool thing. I mean, you actually went down there, communicated what was the issue, and they resolved the issue. And actually, in a way, that built some kind of relationship.
Because I'm confident with myself. Yeah. I think I'm doing the right thing, and I'm not scared of people to look them in the eye and say, "Hey, man, can you help me out here?" And when someone says it to me, and I'm doing something, I 100% try to comply because I want that back. Mm-hmm. I think that if we're just more decent people,
empathetic and all that.
Empathetic and start doing things to make ourselves happy so we stop blaming other people. You gotta stop blaming other people for your lack of happiness. It's self-accountability. You're not happy, it's 95% your fault. 95% something you did in your life made you not happy. And I said this before, the first time we got together. People are gonna be telling you that you can't do something, fuck them. Fuck them 100%. It might be your family. You're gonna have to look at your family and say, "Fuck you guys! I gotta do what makes me happy. I gotta go for it." You know, you might want to be a fireman and you're in the middle of college. You might want to drop out of college and go to fire academy. Do it. It's gonna make you happy. That's not a negative thing.
It's finding fulfillment. Yeah.
Yes, because you can't eat your way into happiness. You can't fuck your way to happiness. You can't do Molly to get happy.
Nope.
You can't smoke weed to get happy. It has to come from inside of you. These psychedelics, they can
guide you, yeah.
They can point to your core, and they can say, "Hey, maybe if you worked on this would help," but you still got to do the work.
And, you know, we'll go into another podcast episode about that where I was at one point abusing the psychedelics a little too much. And it goes on to a point where it opened my eyes, but then it opened up my eyes so much as I was repeatedly using it, it was asking me, why are you not doing the work? And I started hating myself because I wasn't doing anything productive to advance my life.
That's it. Yeah. So that's all I got for current events. We don't have a guest. Our guest isn't here. So, I mean, we have a beautiful place. We'll be doing it again.
Yep.
I didn't tell you this, Scott, but the 31st, I have someone lined up. I have a comedian and his wife.
I like that. I like surprises.
So
just no girls grabbing my glasses in the club. I know it's dark in the club, but I got the glasses on for a reason.
So, thank you. Thank you for your help with this, man.
No, thank you, sir.
All right, it's good talking to you, and I think we're done.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm happy.
All right. I'm going to be happy. All right, y'all. Good deal. We're out.
Peace. Bye.
Oh, by the way. One last thing. A black gorilla and a Vietnamese Scottish tiger walk into a Mexican food restaurant. You think that's a good title? Fuck it. We'll see you guys next week. We're out. Boom.
Peace.